Hi everyone, I'm just back here to give a quick update on what has been going on with my life. As you can hear, I'm not using my usual mic, so it's going to be quite muffled and quite noisy. Since the start of the year, I have changed jobs. It was in a different department than I was used to. So the job offer was, I actually rejected it once, and there were back and forth until we came to a mutual agreement and I went over in July. I wasn't so sure if I've made the right move, but my ex-colleagues who came to see me, they were saying that I glowed. So I believe that I have made the right choice if other people were able to see such a positive change in me. Also, I feel that I'm learning to be comfortable in working in a team setting, because in my previous, I've always been in a solitary position. So now is the time for me to learn how to be more open with my bosses and to accept help from my colleagues. So this is one aspect of my life that has changed. Go on to the not so nice change. It actually started early in the year, where I started having difficulty sleeping, and it's not the usual way I have difficulty in sleeping, because this time round when I will actually start to feel that I did not get enough oxygen even though I have breathed in quite deeply, and I knew that it was not rational after I placed a hand on my chest and I realized that my heart is actually beating fine, but I'm hyperventilating. This went on for a few months before I sought help, medical checkup, in case that it is something that I cannot feel, and the health checkup came back fine, and now I can really be sure that this is a mental health problem. So I'm now in the midst of seeking treatment. I have been to a counselor and I'm also supplementing it more with alternative treatment, because I felt that this stems from some weird trauma that I have earlier on in the year. But at the same time, I've also sought help from my other friends who I know are dealing with difficulties, and they also feedback to me that their friends are facing a kind of purging, so to speak, across the board. And maybe this is the way it is when the stars align and all that we all come out to purge at the same time. And even myself, I have friends who face health crises and burnt out. They were burnt out at the same time as I was going through this panic attack. So wish me luck. I hope that I will become better. We all always say that it's not good to read for our health using tarot, but I did read and I realized I have an inkling that it is not a physical health problem, because swords card keep coming out, and even one card that stood out to me was the Emperor card. So I spoke to some online friends through the tarot community, and they suggested that probably it's because I keep trying to rationalize things that may have contributed to this health crisis that I'm facing. I felt that my whole body starts to tense up whenever I'm in an enclosed space. So since the Emperor is the number 4, and it is also a kind of a square, and rooms are typically square or rectangular, I feel that this enclosed aspect of a place will trigger panic attack, or or make panic attack easier to occur to me. How may I deal with such a thing? And I reconnected with the Mary L for this, and the Mary L has always been a difficult deck for me to work with, and now I felt like I'm pivoting this deck to become more of a intentional cards for authors. In one of the first few readings I did, I asked for things like what card can I focus on to help with this crisis that I'm dealing with. So the first card that came out was the Eight of Cups. But for Mary L users, you all know that the depictions of the cards are not so traditional, and so I decided to go with the paintings, the images. And at first I put this as comforting my inner child, because panic attack and fear, they are irrational, and so probably it's my inner child that's feeling scared and all that. But then the next time round, I asked the same question and I pulled this card. I realized they are having the same position, which is having their hands crossed over their chest. And this reminded me of a practice that I'm doing with my current counselor, which is called tapping. So I thought that it will be good to continue doing this tapping and being in a better place while looking at these cards. The Justice itself is this Justice depiction is a card of self-love and compassion for me as well, because the face that Mahat have here, she's having a, she feels a lot for the world, but she has to do her duty because she's the goddess of justice. So that's what I feel from this card. I asked one of my friends who is a certified psychologist what he thinks that will help me in becoming better, and he put this card from the Tarot of the Hidden Realms, Two of Cups, and he suggested that self-love, and so that's also what I have been trying to focus on. Speaking of the Tarot of the Hidden Realms, I actually wanted to sell this deck, but my friend kept telling me that the Tarot of the Hidden Realms always reminded her of me, and whenever I use the deck, she feels that it's indeed me talking through the deck. I decided to stop selling the deck, and I decided to use it, but I haven't been using it so much until recently, and I feel that this deck is going to be a great ally as I continue to heal. Coming back to some of the cards that I've picked in relation to my health crisis, I have also gotten Judgment a few times. I'm still waiting to see what it might mean for me, but knowing what it is, I think that it will be a good healing journey for myself, and I hope when I'm better, I'm able to render the same help that my friends have given to me to other people who might need it as well. Alright, after all these small updates, maybe I would also like to share with you some of the decks that I have been working more with, and also new decks as well. So first is the Seek and Sickle Oracle deck. Well, I have not been I don't usually use Oracle deck so frequently for readings, but Seek and Sickle actually turned out to be a big surprise for me. I love the pictures, and this is a gift from Casper. I did my usual 3-card reading with this deck, and surprisingly I can really read the progression of the flowers very easily in relation to questions people ask. I would recommend people to look at this deck as a everyday tool if you are interested. For me, it really helps, and I do use reverse when reading with this deck as well. I received a gift from a friend. This is the Spirit Keeper Tarot. It's very small. I don't dare to open it because the cards will spill out. It's just cardboard, and I received this gift from a friend, Beyond Lemuria, and this is an oracle deck which, there are a lot of words behind, and it is a kind of a challenging deck for me to deal with, but I really fell in love with the deck, this card. When I saw this picture, I felt that this is me. My friend saw that I love the deck so much, she gave it to me. Finally, I did a deck exchange. I traded a deck, my Line Strider Tarot. I won't open it because there's just a book inside. The deck has been given to a friend, and that friend exchanged his Mythic Tarot. Because I know the value of this deck, I felt that he's making a loss just exchanging this deck with me. There's no book with this Mythic Tarot. This is a deck passed down to him as well, so it is a very used deck. Why we decided to make a trade? So as you all know, sometimes I go to tarot meetup groups, so I was bringing this, I brought this deck along, and he had this deck, and he kept saying that he cannot feel the story from the Mythic Tarot. But cause I read a lot of stories, I read many stories, I know who the people are in the picture, except for maybe the minor arcana. I will need more help on that, so I could read a bit more. Then I just suggested to him whether it's okay if we do a trade, and he just say yes, and the deal was done within 5 minutes. Quite a quick trade. And I also learned something when I traded with him. When this deck came, I felt that it wasn't reading what I was asking, so maybe it's what people call the residual. I don't have the concept of extending my personality and myself onto the things that I own, but it is a good learning experience for me. And so finally, maybe just a quick update that I'm also reconnecting with these 2 stones here to help with my panic attack and anxiety. This is the Crocodile Jasper or the Kambaba Jasper. I'm not sure whether this is counted as a grounding stone for many people, but for me it helps to ground me into my earthly body, and so it's a grounding stone for me. And this is an Ocean Jasper. I bought it because it reminded me of Jupiter on this side. Yeah, so these 2 stones, I hold it in my hands, one on each side, as I try to calm down, and it helps for me. So this is a quick update on my life. I hope you enjoy. Bye.